Ella's egg morning surprise. Ella Davis stirred awake as the morning sun streamed through her bedroom window, casting golden light onto her floral curtains. At 72 years old, Ella lived a quiet but fulfilling life. She had a cozy little home in a charming suburban neighborhood, tended passionately to her garden, and often hosted her grandchildren for weekend visits. But every morning started with the same ritual, her love affair with eggs. Ella was a self-proclaimed egg aficionado. Scrambled, poached, hard-boiled, sunny-side up, there wasn't a way she hadn't tried her morning eggs. To her, they were the perfect food, versatile, delicious, and nutritious. An egg a day keeps the doctor away, she'd always laugh while whisking up her morning creations. But this particular Monday morning wasn't going as planned. Ella tapped her favorite ceramic bowl on the countertop, preparing to crack open an egg. As she did, a thin line of yolk and white began oozing onto her counter. "Drat!" she muttered, frustration bubbling in her voice. The shell was already cracked, and the egg was unusable. "Back to the fridge," she sighed, wiping up the mess. Ella opened the refrigerator door and paused. Something caught her eye. Her eggs were sitting on the door's upper shelf, exactly as they always had. But suddenly she remembered a conversation she'd had the other day at the senior center. "Storing eggs on the fridge door is asking for trouble," warned Lydia, her close friend. "It's too warm there, Ella." Ella had waved off Lydia's advice at the time, saying, "I've done it this way for 40 years. Now, staring at her warmish eggs, she felt a flicker of doubt. Could Lydia have been right? Shrugging off her unease, Ella grabbed another egg and moved forward with her breakfast. The egg that fought back. After cooking the remaining eggs, scrambled with a hint of cream, her favorite method, Ella sat down with her plate. But as she took her first bite, her stomach churned. The texture seemed wrong. Could it have been slightly undercooked? She hadn't paid much attention, distracted by her morning crossword puzzle propped on the table nearby. Just as Ella began to shake off her doubts and reached for a second bite, her phone rang. It was Lydia. The timing couldn't have been more ironic. "Good morning, Ella," Lydia chirped. "How's your Monday? Making those famous scrambled eggs again?" Ella hesitated, glancing at her fork. "Why, yes, actually I am." "Let me guess. You're still leaving your eggs on the door shelf?" Lydia teased. Ella released a reluctant laugh. "Fine, you win. Maybe you have a point." Her voice softened. "But if I'm being honest, I might have also undercooked them today. They're a little slimy." There was a dramatic pause at the other end of the line. Then Lydia's voice sharpened. "Ella, you shouldn't eat undercooked eggs, especially at your age." "Excuse me," Ella said, sounding defensive. "I'm in great health." "Of course you are, dear," Lydia replied tactfully. "But don't forget, our immune systems aren't what they used to be. Raw or undercooked eggs can carry salmonella. It might start with a stomach ache, or worse, and next thing you know, you're in the hospital." Ella's stomach tensed at Lydia's words. She glanced skeptically at her plate. Had those eggs been a little slimier than usual? Could there really be an invisible risk she hadn't considered all these years? "You're being dramatic," Ella retorted, though her voice carried less conviction. "I've eaten eggs my whole life, Lydia, and for the record, I'm fine." "Suit yourself," Lydia sighed. "But promise me you'll at least cook them longer next time." Ella hung up the phone with a half-hearted promise, but Lydia's words lingered as she dumped the rest of her breakfast into the garbage. A lesson from the doctor. By mid-afternoon, Ella did start feeling a bit off. She couldn't tell if it was anxiety from Lydia's warning or if her stomach really hurt. Either way, she decided it was time to check in with her doctor for peace of mind. The next day, Ella found herself sitting on the paper-covered examination table in Dr. Patel's office. Dr. Patel had been her trusted physician for over a decade. The two shared an easy rapport. "So, Ella," Dr. Patel began, scanning her chart, "what brings you in today?" Ella hesitated, unsure how to phrase her concern without sounding silly. "Well, it's about eggs." Dr. Patel raised an eyebrow. "Eggs?" "Yes, eggs. I eat them every day. But my friend Lydia says I'm doing it all wrong. Storing them wrong, cooking them wrong, reheating them wrong. I mean, is this really something I need to worry about?" Dr. Patel chuckled. "All right, let's break this down together. First, let me reassure you. Eggs are an excellent source of protein, vitamins, and minerals. But Lydia isn't entirely wrong. As we age, there are some extra precautions we should take when it comes to food safety, especially with eggs. Ella leaned forward, suddenly intrigued. Dr. Patel explained how raw or undercooked eggs could harbor the salmonella bacteria, posing a serious health risk. In younger people, the immune system might fight off the infection more easily, but seniors like Ella weren't as resilient. A bad egg could mean fever, stomach cramps, diarrhea, vomiting, or worse, hospitalization. And about your storage habits, Dr. Patel continued. Lydia's right again. The fridge door isn't the coldest part of the refrigerator. Eggs should always be stored on a cold, stable shelf toward the back. What about cooked eggs? Ella asked, now fully engrossed. Sometimes I leave them sitting out for a while. Dr. Patel shook his head. You shouldn't leave cooked eggs at room temperature for more than 2 hours. Just 1 hour if your kitchen is particularly warm. Always refrigerate them in airtight containers. Ella nodded, taking mental notes. What about how I cook them? Does that matter? Dr. Patel smiled. I'm glad you asked. Overcooking eggs can cause them to lose important nutrients. High heat oxidizes the cholesterol, which may cause inflammation over time. Ever seen a green ring around a hard-boiled egg's yolk? That's from overcooking. It means you're losing some of the egg's best nutrients. Ella's jaw dropped. Who knew there was so much to learn about eggs? A new way to cook. The next morning, Ella was determined to follow the doctor's advice. She began by reorganizing her refrigerator, placing her eggs in the coldest spot. She even added a note on the carton. Eat by April 15th. Don't take chances. For breakfast, she tried poaching her egg gently over medium-low heat. It came out perfectly, with a tender white and gooey golden yolk. She placed it atop a piece of warm toast spread with avocado, drizzled olive oil over the top, and sprinkled some sea salt flakes. Ella's first bite was heavenly. Not only did the meal taste better, but it also came with peace of mind. She knew it was safe. Sharing her wisdom. As the weeks went by, Ella became somewhat of an egg expert among her friends. She brought her newfound wisdom to their weekly senior book club meeting at the library. My eggs are always perfectly cooked now, she bragged to Lydia and their friends, and I've even switched to using healthier fats like olive oil or avocado oil instead of vegetable oil. Look at you, Lydia clapped her hands in approval. Did you know processed oils can cause inflammation in your body? Butter or olive oil really is the way to go. More friends chimed in, asking questions. What about reheating? One woman asked anxiously. Oh, definitely avoid microwaving eggs, especially if you're reheating unevenly, Ella explained knowingly. Try reheating them gently on the stovetop with a little water or broth. That way, they stay moist and safe to eat. Soon enough, Ella's friends were swapping egg-related stories, recipes, and storage tips. It became such a hit that they even jokingly dubbed their next meeting Egg Chat Hour. A lifetime of healthy eating. Ella still loved eggs, but her mornings had changed for the better. She continued experimenting with new, gentler cooking methods and was careful to check her eggs' freshness every time. Lydia taught her a fun trick, the water test. If the egg sinks, it's good, Lydia had explained. If it stands upright, it's older but still edible. And if it floats, toss it. Ella loved showing the trick to her grandchildren during their weekly visits. They'd giggle as they watched the eggs perform their underwater dance. She was proud to pass along her knowledge to the younger generation, ensuring they'd never make the same mistakes. At the end of the day, Ella felt confident in her choices. Eggs remained her breakfast staple, but they now symbolize something far greater: the importance of adapting, learning, and growing, no matter your age.